Hello, it's the day before our flight out to San Jose, and I'm just getting inventory prepped and ready to go. I print my posters on 11 by 17 size paper, but I prefer the ratio of 11 by 14 just because it's not as long and skinny, so that just means I have to manually cut the excess off. This is a bit time consuming today because I was low on a lot of posters to begin with, so I'm just trying to get like 200 plus prints ready for sale. I'm also getting inventory ready for washi tapes, mini prints, and enamel pins as well, and stock for those will range from a couple per item to like 20 plus. I think washi tapes are generally my worst sellers, but the people who buy them love them, so it's been worth it to me to keep them around. For pins, I'm bringing about 10 to 15 each, though I rarely completely sell out, but at different events, it's been interesting to see that one design will sell a lot, and usually it's a design that's kind of unexpected. Enamel pins aren't the cheapest to make, but they're a lot of fun to create, so I'm looking forward to making more for my shop update. Okay, I was gonna fold and neatly pack all the tote bags, but then I quickly gave up, so I just stacked them together. This will suffice. On the way to San Jose. We ended up getting an Airbnb that was really close, so we're just walking over to the venue now. So cute! Her booth is so cute. Oh my god, Sarah! This is our spot. Thought I counted correctly, but I'm too short of the base for my little shelf thing. I'm freaking out. Now I have to improvise. Okay, so I'm thinking he had the idea where I can cut the chipboard and then just slot them in, and that should suffice. The spaces for this event are 10 feet by 10 feet, so it's a lot to work with. I always go for the corner spots so I have a lot of space to maximize. Most craft fair types of events do not provide tables, so since I was traveling from out of town, I had to rent the tables and chairs ahead of time, which cost about $24 for 2 tables and 2 chairs, and that's actually really cheap. Some cons ask for $80 for 1 table. To build out and fill this 10 by 10 spot, it took us about 90 minutes from start to finish. However, my regular Artist Alley type table setup will usually only take like 45 minutes. And I think SJ Made has some of the best examples of people utilizing their space as well. Rep and Bandage.
Hey guys, this video is brought to you by Bandage Brigade.
Yeah! I have so many of the Sprinkle Party one left. It's like the least popular one. We finally finished, and it is 11:20. Walk through. I like the totes displayed like this. That's nice. And then we didn't do a big poster display, but we have our poster section over here, so you can just grab one and then you can flip through this and then request the poster that you want in the book. Ooh, I should flip it to this one. This page always gets people. But yeah, I've got a concession stand down here, and I got the matcha latte. She was $6. And they have banh mi, which is pretty cool. So it's on a like wheat roll. There's bacon, arugula, deli meat. Not the most authentic looking thing that she'll do. It's sustenance. Okay. This is the sandwich. There's no pickled radish, pickled veggies, daikon, nada. It's just a cold cut sandwich. Kombucha stand out here, and we ended up getting the passion lavender and hibiscus guava. The packaging is really pretty. It almost looks like a sauce. It's like very floral. It's pretty good. Okay, so my friends Nicole and Debbie just stopped by at my table and they were asking me like, oh, how was the flight in and everything, and it was a very like easy, smooth flight. But I have to tell you guys what I told them. So I'm sitting next to this guy. I'm doing Southwest, so it's open seating. So I ended up next to this guy who is a bit older gentleman, and he's like FaceTiming with his significant other partner, and she's like laying in bed and it's all cute, and he's like saying stuff like, oh, I miss you so much, I can't wait to be home. It's very, very cute, very endearing. And then I'm just like, you know, I'm snooping around and I just like glance over and she's like playing all cute and sexy and whatever. And then he says, oh, give me a little peek, give me a little look. And then he holds the phone up really close to his head, like to his eyes, and like shields it like this from me. But he's not subtle or quiet about it at all. And he's like, God, moaning into the phone, and then he like pulls it back and he's like, oh wow, I'm so hungry right now, you're making me hangry. I'm like, I love that you love your significant other, but time and place, please. Anyways, thanks for listening. Finished. The whole hall clears out really, really fast. Woo! I'm meeting a friend for lunch. Just walking over. Hello, quick recap of SJ Made event. What can I say about this? I have done a handful of SJ Made events, and I am speaking from the perspective of someone who is coming out of state. So I'm from Arizona, and so my expenses are a lot more than most of the other artists who are local to the area. This is probably my weakest SJ Made event that I've done, and I can attribute that to this event being much, much bigger than their previous events. I think they tacked on dozens and dozens of extra vendors, and when that happens, the amount of money that ends up in each artist's pocket is diluted. This new venue is a lot more comfortable for vendors and attendees, I think, but you have to pay for parking for here, so I think that kind of deterred some people. There was also a lot of really young people here who look like teenagers or college students, and obviously their budgets aren't as big, but Saturday there was tons of like young people, and then Sunday I think there was more families that came out. The only thing that I can really complain about this venue is that even though the layout was much more comfortable, is that it was very, very dim. I really wish I had brought display lights because that would have helped my stand, I think. But I was in the back and it was this weird sensation where you could tell the lights are on, but they're not very strong. So I felt like I was straining to see, and I got a little bit of a headache being there for hours and hours. So, but you know, everyone was in pretty good spirits across the board, asking other vendors. Like, I think this was a lot of people's weakest event. And I think that is just growing pains, because a lot of us wanted the better venue and we got it, but with every venue there's wins and losses, and we took the L on maybe expanding too fast, too quickly. I ended up doing okay, but looking at the numbers, comparing this year's Friend Fest to last year's Friend Fest, they made about 40% of last year's numbers. It was a little disappointing, but I still came out on top. Like, I still did fine. Covered all my expenses on day one, and so day two I was able to make money, but it's not enough money to sustain me to consider this event a full-time career successful event. I have a number for that, for what I consider is successful, and this one fell short of that. But I still had a lot of fun, and every time I'm here in San Jose, our community here is so sweet and so like stacked. Like, I've made a lot of friends out here, and it feels like I'm from here, even though I'm definitely not. I always have a really good time, so it's always worth it for me to be out here. Like, I just enjoy myself, but it's not always the most lucrative, especially since the craft fair is only a 2-day event, while as most cons are like 3. You have a better chance of making back your money for the weekend and traveling and all that effort versus a 2-day event like this. I had a really fun time, and SJ Made is like just a very well-run event. I love the staff, they're very helpful. You know, they care a lot about the vendors and communicating and being honest with us. That is very valuable. So I will always try to come out here when I can. Even if this one was not as good as I had hoped for me personally, I hope to return soon. Thank you so much, Bay Area.